All right, hello everyone. This is our third Patriot Podcast. Today we have our industrial tech teacher, Mr. Johnson. We're just going to be talking about some stuff about school with him. So first off, we're just going to have you tell us about yourself and like what you do.
Well, thanks for asking me to do this. I think it's a pretty cool deal. I'm glad you guys are doing this, and it's a good way to get some recognition up for the school. So thanks for that. I'm Mr. Johnson, and I teach industrial technology here at school. So that includes 10th grade shop class, where we do everything from woodworking to welding to small engines. The building trades program, where traditionally we've been building a house the last couple of years, but now with COVID, we've gone away from that this year. Hopefully, get back into that next year. And
Right.
then another senior high industrial tech class, which is kind of student driven, what they want to build and what kind of interest they have. And then the project lead the way classes in the 7th and 8th grade, where we concentrate on engineering, robotics, a lot of CAD work, stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and you're also the robotics teacher.
Yeah, correct. I run the robotics program here too, as well. So.
Cool. So what made you want to become a teacher in this department?
I looked at that sheet you asked me that, and I don't know if there was ever a specific moment where I said that's what I want to be. I guess when I graduated from high school here at Winnie Mac in 2000, and when I went to college at Bemidji State, I majored in industrial technology with an emphasis on construction management. But while I was there, my advisor, I don't know, for whatever reason, said, "Hey, I think you'd be pretty good at teaching. Try some of these classes," and they kind of synced up pretty well, so it really wasn't that much more coursework for me to do, so I decided to double major, and I guess the rest is history. I did my student teaching and decided it stuck, and I guess that's why I'm here now. So.
Right. Did graduating from Winnie Mac, did that kind of pull you back to be a teacher here?
I guess, I enjoy the community. Growing up here, being from here,
Right.
means a lot to me, and I think that's kind of brought me back to the area. I know Winnie Mac was my third job. My first teaching job was in Greenbush, Minnesota for a year, and then I was in Boston for 8 years, and then when the job opened up here, I think it's 6 years ago now, I came over here at that point. So.
Cool. Do you want to talk about anything, Mihai?
Yeah. So you said you went to college and everything for this class and all that. So you enjoy it here more than Greenbush and Boston?
Well, yeah, I guess so. It's.
So you're not going to leave us in 5 years?
No, not planning on leaving anytime soon. No. To be honest with you, I enjoyed Greenbush. A lot of really good people up there. My first year teaching, you're kind of swimming, you're trying to figure things out. But my goal was always to get back to the area, and then a job opened up in Boston, and I applied and got the job there, and got to meet a lot of great people there, and get to work with a lot of good people, and then just worked out really naturally because we live in the district, me and my family. I have my 3 sons and my wife, and my son started kindergarten, and the job opened up, so it's really nice to be in the same building as them and be in the same school that you live in too. So you kind of feel really connected to what's going on here in the community then.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, since this whole pandemic's going around, you think you're going to be sticking around being a teacher if anything gets worse?
I think so. That's kind of put me on the spot in a way.
Yeah.
But that's all right. No, that's good. It's a good question. I'm planning on it. I like the thing with teaching that I like. For my area, it's a little bit different because I do have some skills. I do some carpentry work. I did
Right.
that. I have the construction management degree. So I guess I have options. But the thing that I like with teaching so far is the schedule, and it's really nice for having a family. I don't have to work weekends. I'm not on the road.
Right.
So my anticipation is, I'm gonna stick this out for a while. I like what we have going here with the school, with our program here. The school's been really supportive of what we have. The community is too. So I just see us, developing this and growing this area.
Right. Kind of going back to when you were in college for industrial tech, was there anything else when you went into college that you wanted to be?
No. I was pretty sure I wanted to be in something in industrial technology.
Right.
To be honest, I probably was about 50-50 whether I was going to go to college or not necessarily a 4-year institution versus a 2-year. I probably really close to going to school to become an electrician or something like that.
Okay.
But I was able to get a scholarship from Bemidji State, so it kind of steered me in that direction. Felt like, well, better pursue that. And so no, I've always liked the hands-on stuff. I like the building. I like creating. So no, I mean, there was never really anything else on the radar besides stuff in the hands-on fields.
Cool. So like when it comes to like your classes and stuff, how has like COVID affected your classes since pretty much all of them are like hands-on?
Oh, quite a bit. I mean, it's been a big change for me, in good and bad. I'm trying to make sure, look at the positives of it. Yeah, it's a lot different, but it's also kind of opened me up. I found a lot more resources to use and some really good media online that I've used to go through some processes, because I really can't assign a lot of hands-on stuff for kids to do at home. So
Right.
kind of opened my eyes to that. It's making me obviously a lot better with using Google Classroom and Zoom and all these other types of technology out there. So yeah, I mean, I would say my class has changed a lot, but where traditionally we'd be in the shop every day building something or doing something or building a house, or we really can't do that. So we're kind of looking at more from a theory perspective, or an understanding perspective versus just the application of the hands-on work. So.
Right, yeah, because we have was there something you wanted
Oh
to
yeah.
say?
So most of the kids in your class, like everywhere they go, they even like introduce them to construction, or your kind of work and shop and everything. So if we were to graduate high school and get more into it, what kind of jobs do you suggest, or what kind of college careers?
Well, and that's one of the things, it's good you bring that up. One of the things I've kind of been emphasizing on in 2-3 of my classes right now is careers in these hands-on fields. Because I believe, just reading statistics and looking at information and talking to people who are working the industry, these hands-on jobs, whether they're in manufacturing, whether they're in construction, whether they're in automotive, whether they're in diesel repair, these jobs are in such high demand right now, and they're in such, the pay and the compensation is really good. So I really promote any of those to my students, because I think it's going to be, one, set them up to have a good career, make good money. Two, I also believe that we want to try to keep some of our best and brightest in this area. And if there's careers in the trades in this area, there's only so many doctors and lawyers and engineers that
Right.
unfortunately can live in Erskine, Winger, McIntosh, wherever. But people with hands-on degrees can live here and do a little bit of travel and still have a good living, still be part of our community here, because we need to have something for people here to do too. So I really promote those careers, and I think probably one of the most satisfying parts of this job to me, and sometimes you get caught up with like doing this project with this kid, and that's true, and I do like that. But man, the older I've gotten, when I have a student call me up and say, "Hey, Mr. Johnson, I just passed my master electrical license," he gives me a call out of blue and says that.
Right.
That's exciting for me.
Yeah.
That's the part of teaching we don't get to see that often, is the fruit of our labor, because we just every day it's working with kids, and then when you see a kid or a student that comes back and says, "Hey man, I really thank you for helping me get an interest in this area, found a career now, I'm really happy," and that's pretty cool. So that's I would encourage all students to look into tech schools, trade schools, apprenticeships, anything, no matter what your interest is. At least see what's out there and see if that fits your needs. So.
Right.
I think it's pretty cool about having this kind of job, because even with this pandemic going around, houses are still going to need to be built. There's always going to be
Right.
Oh,
a need
correct.
for
Yeah.
welders, so
Yeah.
it's not really affecting you at all.
Yeah, no, that's right. So there's always going to be those that fit that. And I look at some of the stuff too, especially with the engineering classes. We talk about automation a lot, but it's really hard to automate someone putting shingles on a house. There's hard to automate someone who diagnoses and fixes a car. It's hard to automate these jobs. So as we look at world as becoming more automated and more computer driven, we still need people to be out there solving the problems, using their hands to fix these things, especially in remote locations.
Right. Like, personally, I don't plan on going into anything in this field, but I mean, just like for like fixing up your house and stuff, I mean, this is such a useful class because it just teaches you, even just the basics of like what you need to do. I mean, before this class, I wouldn't have known how to like frame a wall. Now I could do that by myself without having to hire someone. So it's actually really nice to actually be able to learn these skills
No, it's good
in
to hear.
high
Yeah.
school.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I've always told students that no matter what you can do in your life, you're probably, if you think about it, your biggest investments are going to be your home.
Yeah.
And if you can do some stuff in your own home from some of the skills we have, that's going to help you out down the road. It's going to save you a lot of money. Two, your second probably biggest investment is probably going to be some type of vehicle. So if we have an understanding of how they work, if we can do some basic maintenance, one, helps us have a better understanding of the things we're using in life, and also may save us some money too from being able to do our own work. So yeah, I mean, it's the world we live in, and I think it's important we have these skills and understanding.
Right. See what else we got here.
So you do a lot of stuff in this shop, like automotive, you build houses and you do little projects. Is there any more other programs you plan on going into?
Yeah, good question. Well, yeah, right. So we do woodworking, and then we do welding and metal fabrication, and the small engines. We do a unit on that. I do CAD programs, and I try to incorporate that into, a lot of my junior high classes. I try to incorporate a little bit more into my upper level classes, just as a timing thing. Now we have some CNC machines, computer numerical control. I have a computer numerical control router and a plasma cutter, so we can program them to do the work we want them to do. So that's kind of, I think, is kind of, maybe we're actually behind on that. We need to emerge into that more, because a lot of our jobs are, traditionally if you went into a factory or something like that, you're not going to be sitting there cutting out 5,000 pieces yourself by hand. You're going to be programming a machine that's going to cut that out. So having the knowledge to do that is really big. We do the house project. One thing I'd like to do, and I mean, obviously everything's down to money and space, but plastics is kind of an interesting area. I've always kind of enjoyed doing stuff with that. The automotive, we kind of just touch on it. It's basic automotive we do here. We're really not set up for a huge automotive class just for the space we have, but we like to scratch the surface of it. So yeah, I mean, I really feel like it's good to be well-rounded with the curriculum we have here, so our students can at least see a little bit of everything. And then, I think I enjoy having a variety of things to do too myself.
Say that we were two kids that wanted to go into like the same field as you and become a teacher. Would there be any advice that you'd want to give us?
If someone was going to become a teacher, I mean, shop teaching specifically, or teaching in general?
Yeah, shop teaching. Well, I mean, teaching too, just in general.
Well, okay, if someone wanted to become a shop teacher, I would highly recommend them to have a skill set coming in. When I was going to college, there would be some people who were going into the program. They just thought it'd be cool to be a shop teacher, and they didn't really have a skill set going in. I really think that's helped me out. Growing up on a small farm, we did lots of different things. So I learned how to work on cars and tractors and stuff like that, and we fixed things all ourselves. And then I worked as construction through college too. So having that background, I think, really helped me in this field. If anyone's interested in teaching, I think the thing that you have to remember with teaching is, there's always people complaining because you're not getting paid this, you're not getting paid that. But I do find the schedule to be really good. I do pick up some work in the summer helping people out, so I make a little extra money then. So that's part of it. But hey, it's a rewarding job. It's a very clean job. It's a nice job. The people are really good. There's headaches, but I mean, I've done enough but I just don't think there's any job that doesn't have a headache. So I mean, I don't think there's an ideal thing out there. So I would just recommend, just jump into it, go after it. If you get into teaching, get your master's degree right away. It's going to help you out with your pay, and it's going to make it a little bit easier. So.
Right. Unless there's anything else you want to add.
So if you're in my shoes right now as a senior, what would you do differently while I was in the shop class, or was majoring into another classes?
What would I do? I guess one. It depends on what I really would encourage you to look at. And I know me, you probably have looked at this, but I would encourage any senior to really look at the trades as far as careers, and I've kind of talked about that. I just think that would help you out. And two, I would recommend any senior we have to take classes in my hands-on classes, Mrs. Jory's fax classes, Mr. Morgan Ross computer classes, Mrs. Ockery's arts classes. I'm a big proponent for the hands-on education, the practical stuff that we don't always touch in these other classes. And I'm not saying anything bad about anybody else. I mean, I think all our teachers here do a wonderful job. I just feel that sometimes we don't get put enough emphasis on these areas that should be put on there, because we're teaching practical things. We're teaching things that you can use right now. We're giving you skills and things like that they're going to help you not only in a career but potentially in life as well.
Cool. Yeah. Well, I'd say that's about all we got for you. Thank you guys for tuning in again. It's rough trying to get these podcasts and news out, but we're trying our best for you guys. So thank you for
Yeah,
doing
no,
this
thank
with
you
us.
guys. Appreciate it. This has been fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, what's your plan then?
I'm gonna go into computer software and like editing and stuff
Okay,
like that.
Mihai?
I'm probably just gonna take over my dad's business and just
Okay.
be a builder myself.
You Bill? Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. That sounds
Awesome. Well, thank you again.
Yeah.
Thanks you guys for tuning in.